Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead 215. This video is going to be all about how to harvest violets and dandelions to be able to turn them into jellies. So my girls are going to help me gather some flowers and then we're going to make some jelly out of them, and I'm going to take you along for that process. All right girls, what are we out here to do today?
Pick some flowers and make jelly.
Picking flowers to make jelly. What kind of flowers are we picking?
Dandelions.
And?
Purple flowers.
The violets, right?
I said violets.
Violets, good. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. These little dandelions down here is what we're looking for. Just kind of pop it off like that. See? And then you got that, perfect. And then now, look, we're gonna go over here to these purple ones. These little purple ones, they're not quite open all the way yet today, but these little purple flowers are called violets. And you're gonna, same thing, you just kind of pop the top of it off. And then we're gonna put it right in here. Let's try to keep these separate in here because I'm gonna make different kinds of jellies. Good. All right, so that's your job. Go around and start picking purple and yellow flowers, okay? Derek, what are you doing? Derek's helping Dad clean out the garage today, so he apparently found a fun helmet to play with. Now let me teach you the difference real fast. Look, do you see the difference between these purple flowers and these? You see how they're different? We don't need these right now, okay? We want these other bigger purple flowers that are called violets. These little ones, these are like called a creeping Charlie, I think. It's a different type of flower, and we don't need those right now. So just the violets is what we're looking for, okay? The girls wanted to see if they could go ahead and try a flower to eat it because we're going to turn them into jelly and they wanted to know what they tasted like. So go ahead, you can eat a little petal or something. You like it, Maddie? Gracie, what do you think?
I ate these before. Tastes like nothing.
Tastes like nothing? Well, it'll taste better once we turn it into jelly, especially with a whole bunch of them, okay?
Mom,
Girls, can you show us your basket, see what we've got so far? We've only been at it for about 15, maybe 10, 15 minutes. So we don't have quite a ton yet, but we're getting there.
We have a lot of these.
We have a lot, but we need a lot more still to make jellies, so we need to fill that up, okay?
Run, you have to run. They said you were allowed to run forward.
After you pick your violets and your dandelions, depending on which jelly you're making, you're going to gently rinse them off. Any debris, any bugs, anything that's come in with them, and just kind of gently rinse them off. Now for the dandelion jelly, you want to actually cut off the bottom green part of the dandelions. There's going to be a little bit left on your flower still, and if you want to take the time to pick all that off, you can, but you just want this main green stem part to come off. So I'm going through and I'm just kind of cutting off those bottom pieces and then putting my petals in here. And you're just going to get 2 cups worth of your petals and put them in your jar. Okay, so once you have your 2 cups of boiling hot water, you're going to pour it in to your mason jar. And it will just begin the steeping process with the violets. And you want to let this sit for 24 hours. And you'll just put a lid gently on top. Don't seal it. Just put one of the canning lids on top. It is the next day and my tea has steeped for 24 hours. And now it is time to turn this into jelly. So we're going to make this violet jelly and dandelion jelly. You can use the same exact recipe for both. So I have all my ingredients here, and since I only did 2 cups of water, a lot of the recipes you'll find online, they say 4 cups of water should mean 4 cups of sugar for your recipe, but I'm only gonna do 2 cups of sugar, and then instead of a full package of pectin, I'm only doing half, and I've split this one package into half right here, so 1 for each recipe. And then the lemon juice as well, I'm cutting that in half for the recipe. It calls for 1/4 a cup if you're doing a 4 cup of water recipe, but I'm only doing 1/8 of a cup of lemon juice. So I've got all my ingredients ready, and I am going to go over here and strain my teas out. So this is the violet tea. I've strained it, or I've put it in here, and now I'm just kind of pressing this down on the petals to get any excess tea out of it. Making sure all that good tea is in the pot. And then you can see down below my tea is very purple. And then we do that same process with our dandelion jelly. And then here is our nice yellow looking dandelion tea. And I will get the lemon juice added to these. All right, girls, so we are getting ready to add lemon juice to our tea that we made yesterday with the violets and the dandelions. And something really cool is about to happen, so we're gonna watch it. So Grace, I want you to start with this. Take this small one and dump it into the back pot. That's our dandelion tea that we're turning into juice, or to jelly. And then if you want to take a spoon and just stir that in. Okay. And then Maddie, I want you to take this lemon juice, and then we're going to pour it into the dandelion jelly, which is what color is that, girls?
Purple.
It's like a dark purple color, right? Let's see what happens when we add lemon juice to it.
What?
Whoa, let Maddie stir that one.
Stir it up.
Stir it up, Maddie. Stir it all up. Now what color is it turning?
Pink.
It's like a pretty pink color now. So our jelly is going to be that color now. Isn't that cool? So we went from having a really dark purple from all those dark purple flowers that we collected, and now that lemon juice, it reacts to the tea and it makes it turn colors. Isn't that cool? So now it is time. We've got our tea and our lemon juice mixed in, and now we're going to take the pectin, and again, I'm only doing a half a recipe, so my half a package is going to go in my dandelion tea, and then half a package into the violet tea as well. Now I'm going to stir that in, and we're going to bring them both to a rolling boil. I'm trying to do 2 at once and take a video, so it's a little hard for me to stir constantly, but you really do want to make sure that you are stirring these up constantly as you bring them to a boil. Once you get to a rolling boil, you want to go ahead and add in your sugar. And again, I'm only doing 2 cups. A lot of recipes, if you do 4 cups of water, call for 4 cups of sugar as well. But I am just doing a small batch to start with. You keep whisking that in, and then you let it get back to a rolling boil again. Once it gets back to this rolling boil, you want to stir it for 1 minute. So we're going to start stirring this. After 1 minute, we're going to turn off our heat. Now at this point, if you want to do a little test to see if your jelly has set or not, you can spoon off a little tiny bit and set it on a little saucer to put in your freezer. And I'm going to test both kinds real quick just to make sure. And I'm just going to grab a little spoonful. And I'm just going to And then you just set these in the freezer for 1 minute. Okay, it's been 1 minute, so we're just gonna drag our spoon through this. And if it kind of makes a Red C motion like that, it just splits down the middle and it's gelled up right there. That's perfect. And let's try with the dandelion one as well. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so that means the jellies are ready. We don't have to keep cooking them, and we can put them in the jars. Now that these are ready to can, I've got my little canning funnel here just to help out. You want to fill your jars. This is not a typical canning jar, but you want to fill your jars to leave about a 1/4 inch headspace. So I was able to make quite a few of the small jelly jars of the violet jelly, and then I've got one it's not technically a canning jar, but I'm gonna be keeping that one just open in the fridge already and not worrying about canning it. And then I only did one small jelly jar for the dandelion jelly, one of the larger. But now I'm gonna, if you can see the top of the violet jelly, the dandelion jelly doesn't look as bad, but the top of the violet jelly has a little bit where it's just kind of built up. So I'm actually going to just scoop that off. And you can leave it in there, it doesn't really matter. But it just makes it look a lot cleaner and prettier if you scoop all that out. So I'm just going to scoop that out. After you do that, you do want to make sure that the rims of all your jars are clean so that the canning lids can seal correctly to them. So I'm going to go and just wipe around the edges and the outsides of all my jars. Now that you've got everything wiped clean, you want to put your canning lids on. Just make sure they're centered. And then you just take your canning ring, and you put it on and you kind of twist it around like that. And then you're just going to very gently twist it with just your fingers. And then the last step here is to can them. So we're going to put them in the water bath canner here. And then you let these process for 10 minutes in the water bath canner. Alright, so my timer has gone off. These have processed for 10 minutes now. So I'm going to turn off the heat. And we will get them out. Alright, so they are all out, and I'm going to let these sit out overnight. For now, we are done. I hope you learned a little something about how to make jellies from dandelions and violets, and I know a lot of people sometimes see them as weeds or problems in their yard, but I love having them. I think they're beautiful, they're great for pollinators, and I'm very happy with how well the jellies turned out. They're delicious. I will say, and when I was picking the violets, it's time consuming because they're so small. I had some of my girls helping me for a little while and that helped, but once they got a little bored, they bailed, and it was just me collecting violets for a while. Thinking about maybe next year recruiting a couple more people to help pick them so it goes a little bit faster. That's why I made a smaller batch, because I just didn't want to keep picking to make the bigger batch. So for the first time, I'm really pleased with how this turned out, and I hope you are able to maybe try it out yourself sometime and let me know what you think. If you have tried it before, let me know your thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.